Hi guys, it's Wesley. How's it going? In this video, we're going to be looking at a tier list of body shapes. I think this is going to be a little bit blasphemous, just because I have very different tastes to a lot of different people. So there's probably going to be some controversial things said in this video. However, let's get to it and go through some of these shapes. So I've picked out shapes that I'm not a fan of or that I like, and a few in between as well. Just have a bit of variety, otherwise everything's just going to be in either S or F. So I'm going to be as honest as possible and let's get through it. So first of all, I'm going to be looking at, if we look at sort of middle of the road, Les Pauls. So if we go Les Paul, there, I find Les Paul's one of those guitars that are easy to pick up. Everyone can pick one up. Beginners can pick one up. More advanced players can pick one up. They're very, very simple but effective. So I'd probably put that in. Let's put that in C, because I think that'll be that's a sort of like a generous position for it. I think there's a lot of brands out there that do sort of, obviously there are loads of brands out there that do different versions of the Les Paul, but I think this one, just in general, Les Paul, put that in C. Next, let's go for the Steinberger, and these are extremely strange. Very, very 80s. I want to say sort of Mark King, Level 42, all that type of stuff. Blois to Colt, they all did all their headless guitars. But I think the body shape on the Steinberger is just not for me. It's just too small. I have played one before, and personally for me, just not a fan. So that would go in F, just because they're just not ergonomic at all. They had a little sort of thing that came out so you could put it on your leg, but still just wasn't fantastic. Next, let's look at something a bit more modern. Let's look at the Mockingbird. So BC Rich Mockingbird, A tier. A tier all day long. Love the shape. I've never played one before, but they look comfortable to play because it's got that sort of arch bit underneath, sort of on this part here, it's got that arch. I think that would sit quite nicely, especially if you're sitting sort of like in a classical position as well. So yeah, I would put that in a, on the cusp of A and S, just because it's such a nice guitar. But I don't think it would go sort of in the S tier. So I'd be generous and put it in the A. My mind might change later on in the video. Right, let's go for Explorers. Now, Explorers, S tier. Just look at it. I love Explorers so much. There are a few other brands out there like the Solar, the Type E's. If there was a tier above S, then that's where the Type E's would go. Let's actually put that in. Let's put that in A. So if I put that one in A, I love Explorers, absolutely love Explorers, but there's just something about other. When it comes to Explorers, I like Pointy. I like Pointy Explorers. I don't know why. I just absolutely love it. Don't get me wrong, I love these Explorers, but the Solar Type E's, I didn't put it on the list for some unknown reason, but the Solar Type E's, I'll put one up on the screen now so you can have a look at it. Just so I'll put that one in. I'll put that one in A. So next, let's have a look at SG. B tier, just because I prefer them over Les Pauls because of the shape. I just think they're a little bit more eye-catching, should we say, with the sort of double horns. Yep, I'll put that in B tier, comfortable putting it there. because it's just a nice shape to look at, and they're not as heavy as a Les Paul as well. Right, let's look at. No, let's not go for that one yet. Let's go for the Majesty. So the Majesty, I'd put that in a D tier just because they look cool. They seem very ergonomic. However, I'm bored of Strat shapes. Absolutely bored of Strat shapes. They're just popping up everywhere. Every brand, every year. There just doesn't seem to be anything sort of original anymore. And I just think Strat shapes are just don't belong there anymore. There's just too many brands doing them, like Super Strats, all that. As you can see, I've got a couple here. I suppose moving on to that, F. It has to be F. Unfortunately, it has to be F. Just because I'm just not a fan. Really not. It doesn't wow me. You see them everywhere. Just, yeah, not for me. I suppose we could move on to its sort of counterpart, shall we say, the Telecaster. Telecaster, I'll put that in E. It's better than a Strat, but I suppose I put it in an E just because I would say it's better. A Telecaster is way better for a beginner than a Strat. If you get any Strat, apart from if you're starting out and you can afford a Fender USA that's going to stay in tune, lock in tuners, all that type of stuff, then yes, go for it. The thing I hate the most is all these brands that bring out Strats that have whammy bars on them, have the tremolos. They just don't stay in tune. They got cheap tuners, cheap tremolo system, and every time a beginner gets a guitar, they go for a Strat because that's what everyone pretty much goes for. It's the done thing. However, when it comes to playing it, it will go out of tune so quickly, and I think it puts a lot of guitar players off. So honestly, any beginners out there, don't go for Strats. Don't go for a cheaper Strat. I would go for the Telecaster or the Les Paul. I think they're going to be your better options, without the trems, obviously. But you don't really see trems on Telecasters and Les Pauls that much. Right, one of my absolute favourite shapes of all time is the Iceman. That goes in S. 100% goes in S. It's just, I don't know what it is. I love all the weird and wonderful shapes. I just think they're a lot more fun to see on stage, because everywhere you go now, it's either someone's got a Les Paul or someone's got a Strat, and brands out there can make Super Strats look quite nice. And when I say Super Strats, anything that's a Super Strat is what is not a Fender Strat. So if you look at a Fender or a Squier Strat, that's what I call a Strat. Anything other brand wise, which is a little bit pointy or they've got something a little bit different, I would call that a Super Strat. It doesn't have to have the Floyd Rose. So anything beyond, anything that's slightly different looking to the actual Strat, but it's still a Strat shape, to me is a Super Strat. And Iceman, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, but it has to be the ICT 700 just because it's got that Ibanez reverse headstock. I just think that looks beautiful, and they are as rare as rocking horse poop. You can't get them anywhere. So moving on, let's go to the sort of Rhoads shape, I guess you could call it. Normal flying V's, I would put them in S tier, sort of like. Let me just go grab it. Again, I should have put it on the list, but oh well. So sort of like the rounded shape, doesn't have to be like the Epiphone or anything like that, or like the Gibson ones. Anything rounded, S tier. Anything rounded, S tier, which is completely the opposite of Explorers. Explorers, I would rather have a Pointy Explorer than a Pointy V, because I always find that the Pointy Vs are too light. I like chunky guitars. So I'll put that on here for a sec. So Rhoads, I'm sorry, but you go in A for me. You look cool, just too light. And again, as I say, it's just not just the Rhoads shape. Anything that's pointy always seem to be very, very light. So not a fan, I'm afraid. Well, I am a fan, obviously, but not to S tier extent. Firebird. It's an Explorer on steroids. Especially the Gibson Custom. I think that is just awesome. I love Volbeat, and the lead singer from Volbeat takes him on tour with him, and I just think they are just awesome looking guitars. LTD do a version as well, which I think is called the Phoenix. Yeah, it's I would say it's probably a mixture between an Explorer and an RD. I think that's how I would explain it. But yeah, Firebirds for me. Thank you very much. S tier. I've never played one before, so I don't actually know what they're like to play. I would love to try one, but just the way they look, thumbs up from me. Stranberg. Okay, so I would probably put the Stranberg with C tier, because I had a headless, and it was okay. It was lovely. It was light. It was great to gig, but just I'm quite tall. I'm quite big, as you can tell, and I just think they look quite silly on me. I think they look quite small, but anyone that's tall, if you love them, you've got to love what you love. But just for me, I just think they look a bit too small on me. So yeah, but I love the Stranberg shape. I absolutely love it. I've seen them in person. I saw them last year in Germany, and at the Guitar Summit, I saw them there. And yeah, great guitars, but just way better than a Steinberger. But out of all the headless shapes, out of all the headless guitar shapes that you can see out there, they are definitely my favourite. Right, let's move on to Super Strats. Okay, Super Strats, I'll put that in E, just because they're better looking than normal Strats. But again, you just see them everywhere. They're just every guitar brand out there just seems to be making Super Strats or Strats, and I'm just not here for it. I'm just not here for it. Dean Cadillac. Okay, Dean Cadillac, B. The reason I'd put it in B is because it's a mixture between an Explorer and a Les Paul, and obviously, as you can see there, it's got the Les Paul. A has got the Explorer. Put them both together, you've got to meet in the middle somewhere. So B, definitely. I just quite like the shape. I think it's different. I like different. I don't like the normal, usual stuff. So yeah, definitely there. Definitely put that there. ML. So ML would go A. Again, mixture of an Explorer and a Flying V. What more can I say? Metal and Dimebag. It's got to be done. Love the shape. I have played one before, as you could probably see in a few of my previous videos. I had a Dimebag Razorback and loved it. It was absolutely great. So I might end up getting one, but again, Floyd Rose, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of Floyd Rose's. I do like Flan though. Flan is lovely. Big fan of Flan. But an ML, yeah, fan definitely. S tier, not for me. But yeah, A all day long. I would play them happily, especially if they've got that big Dean headstock that's bigger than my own head. Definitely for sure. Jazzmaster. If we look at a Jazzmaster, it's different. Do you know what I'd put it in? Oh, see, this is a difficult one. So would I put that in C, or would I put that? I'll put that in C. I'm umming and ahhing about it, so I'll definitely put that in a C, because if it was definitely a B, it would have gone straight in there. Again, different, like different, love different, but once again, it's just not a shape that I would choose to buy. But again, eye-catching, way better than the Strat, and I would put it on par with the Les Paul. Definitely put it on par with the Les Paul. And last but not least, I would... Well, I said last but not least. Last but not least, the new Solar Type X. I wonder where this one's going to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this guitar is absolutely stunning with a capital S. So that is why that is going into S tier, because Solar have just done it perfectly. They've captured the essence of both the ML and also the Razorback, but also managed to keep to their own style. And honestly, I would play these all day long. No issues at all. No worries at all. I would sit and play that all goddamn day. Floyd Rose, don't care. Just gimme. Especially that green one. Or that green one that Ola was playing. Ooh. Yes. Give it to me. I would definitely love to try one out. And I saw him play it I saw Ola play it in sort of like a classical style. And I think that would sit perfectly. I've been playing a lot recently in sort of like a classical style. I've got sort of one of these footstep things, which my foot is currently on at the moment. And it's just so much more comfortable to play. You gain so much more access on the fretboard. So yeah, 100%. The Type X from Solar is definitely going in S tier. So that's it, guys. If you've got any questions, put them down in the comments section. If you want to berate me or shout at me or tell me how wrong I am, please do, because I love people's others' opinions. I want to know what you guys think about this tier list and what you would add on to the tier list and where it would go. Just create a discussion. Let's talk. Let's come up with sort of different ideas, and I would love to see what other people think about different body shapes and what body shapes I've missed off. Maybe I'll do a tier 2 list. But yeah, once again, thank you so much. Hit that like button, as it's always greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to keep up to date with all my future videos. And guys, I'll catch you in the next one.